Joe Biden briefly worked as an attorney before turning to politics. He became the fifth youngest U.S. senator in history, as well as Delaware's longest-serving senator. In 2008, Barack Obama selected him as his running mate, and Biden went on to serve 2 terms as the 47th Vice President of the United States. In this video, we'll get to know more about Joe Biden, the 2020 Democratic presidential nominee who is running against the incumbent Donald Trump.
Joseph Robinette Biden Jr. is born on November 20, 1942 in Scranton, Pennsylvania, the son of Catherine and Eugenia Biden and Joseph Robinette Biden Sr. He was the oldest of 4 in an Irish Catholic family. His father was a businessman of varying success. Biden Sr. worked as a car salesman, a sales representative for Amoco Oil, co-owner of a crop dusting company, an executive in marine sealant manufacturing firm, a realtor, and a boiler cleaner for a heating company. When Joe Biden was 10, his family moved to a suburb of Wilmington, Delaware, where he attended Ashmere, a private Catholic school. He had to work by washing the school windows and weeding the gardens to help his family afford tuition. As a boy, Joe Biden had a debilitating stutter for which he was bullied by classmates and even a teacher. He stood in front of a mirror, reciting a line from Ralph Waldo Emerson's The American Scholar, over and over, watching the muscles in his face in order to learn how to control them. Joe Biden attended the nearby University of Delaware, where he studied history, political science, and played football. He would rather admit that he spent his first 2 years of college far more interested in football, girls, and parties than academics, but he also developed a sharp interest in politics during these years, spurred in part by inspiring inauguration of John F. Kennedy in 1961. After graduating from Syracuse University in 1968, Biden returned to Delaware to work as an attorney before quickly turning to politics, serving on Newcastle County Council from 1970 to 1972. He was elected to the U.S. Senate in 1972 at the age of 29, becoming the 5th youngest senator in the history. From 1973 to 2009, Biden served a distinguished Senate career. During his time in the Senate, Biden won respect as one of the body's leading foreign policy experts, serving as a chairman of the Committee on Foreign Relations for several years. His many foreign policy positions included advocating for strategic arms limitation with the Soviet Union, promoting peace and stability in the Balkans, expanding NATO to include former Soviet bloc nations, and opposing the First Gulf War. In later years, he called for American action to end the genocide in Darfur and spoke out against President George Walker Bush handling the Iraq War, particularly opposing the troop surge of 2007. In addition to the foreign policy, Biden was an outspoken proponent of tougher crime laws. In 1987, Supreme Court nominee Robert Bob's failure to receive confirmation was largely attributed to harsh questioning by Biden, who was then chairman of the Senate Judiciary Committee. In 1994, Biden sponsored the Violent Crime Control and Law Enforcement Act to add 100,000 police officers and increase sentences for a host of crimes. In 1987, having established himself As one of the Washington's most prominent Democratic lawmakers, Biden decided to run for the U.S. presidency. He dropped out of the Democratic primary. However, after reports surfaced that he had plagiarized part of the speech, Biden had been suffering severe headaches during the campaign, and shortly after he dropped out in 1988, doctors discovered that he had two life-threatening brain aneurysms. Complications from the ensuing brain surgery led to blood clots in his lungs, which in turn caused him to undergo another surgery. Always resilient, Biden returned to the Senate after surviving a 7-month recovery period. In 2007, 20 years after his first unsuccessful presidential bid, Biden once again decided to run for the U.S. presidency. Despite his years of experience in Senate, Biden's campaign failed to generate much momentum in a field dominated by Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama. Biden dropped down after receiving less than 1% of the vote in the crucial Iowa caucuses. Several months later, though, Obama, having secured the Democratic nomination after a hard-fought campaign against Clinton, selected Biden as his running mate. With his working-class roots, Biden helped Obama campaign communicate its message of economic recovery to the blue-collar voters, crucial to swing states like Ohio and Pennsylvania. On November 2, 2008, Barack Obama and Joe Biden convincingly defeated the Republican ticket of Arizona Senator John McCain and Alaska Governor Sarah Palin. On January 20, 2009, Obama was sworn in as the 44th U.S. President and Biden became the 47th Vice President. While Biden mostly served in the role of behind-the-scenes advisor to the president, he took particularly active roles in formulating federal policies relating to Iraq and Afghanistan. In 2010, the vice president used his well-established Senate connections to help secure passage of the new Strategic Arms Reduction Treaty between the United States and the Russian Federation. Running for re-election in 2012, the Obama-Biden team faced Republican challenger Mitt Romney, a former governor of Massachusetts and Romney's vice presidential running mate, U.S. Representative Paul Ryan of Wisconsin. Obama defeated Romney in the 2012 election, earning the second term as a president and Biden another term as a vice president. Biden remained involved in politics and was a vocal critic of President Donald Trump. Biden himself faced cancer when in 2019, various women accused him of inappropriate physical contact, notably hugging and kissing. Although his response was widely derided, his popularity remained high. Biden announced his candidacy in April 2019, joining a crowded Democratic field. Biden immediately became a front-runner, and he pursued a platform that was considered moderate, especially as compared with such candidates as Bernie Sanders. A poor performance in the party's first debate in June 2019, however, raised questions about Biden, and his support dipped. After the first three nomination contests in early 2020, Sanders seemed poised to become the party's nominee. However, worries about Sanders' electability in the general election galvanized moderate voters, and in South Carolina, in late February, Biden won a resounding victory. Numerous candidates subsequently dropped down, and by early March, it had become a two-man race between Biden and Sanders. As Biden registered more wins, he soon took a commanding lead in delegates, After the coronavirus pandemic stole the race, Sanders dropped down in April and Biden became the presumptive Democratic nominee. In the ensuing months, Biden outlined a platform that included a number of policies that appealed to progressives. He notably supported government aid to low-income communities, ambitious climate change legislation, affordable child care, and the expansion of federal health care plans, such as the Patient Protection and Affordable Care Act, which had been enacted during Obama's presidency. During this time, Biden gained somewhat sizable lead over Trump in nationwide polls, due in part to the criticism of the president's response to the pandemic, which has caused an economic downturn that rivaled the Great Depression. In August 2020, Biden chose Kamala Harris as his running mate. She became the first African American woman to appear on a major party's national ticket. And later that month, he officially was named the Democratic presidential nominee. In 1964, Biden had gone to the Bahamas for spring break, where he snuck into a hotel pool and met his future wife, Nelia Hunter. In 1966, the couple married. In 1969, Biden's first son, Joseph, nicknamed Bill, was born. He was followed by Robert Hunter in 1970 and Naomi in 1971. Tragedy struck the Biden family in December 1972 when Nelia and 3 Biden children was involved in an auto accident while out Christmas shopping. Nelia and Naomi were killed. Bill and Hunter was injured. He says he considered suicide after suffering such a profound loss. Ultimately, he chose to live. He raised his 2 sons as a single parent with the help from his family, including his sister who moved in with them. Biden found love again. In 1977, he married Jill Jacobs. She had a doctorate in education and teaches English at Northern Virginia Community College. In 1981, Joe and Jill Biden welcomed a daughter named Ashley.